Chat. If I take either Phyrexian Obliterator or Grey Merchant of Asphodel, what are the odds that the other one wheels? You like Dino Turkey? That's fair. I really want to play Black Devotion. We've not done it yet. It's not a deck we've played at all. I'm not sure if Obliterator or Gary is more likely to wheel. I think Gary is way higher upside. So I think if I'm going to try and draft Black Devotion, I should take the card that's best in Black Devotion and try and wheel the Obliterator. So that's what I'm going to do. Hopefully we get the Obliterator back on the wheel. Fingers crossed. Because Mono Black Devotion is just so much worse if I can't ever get Grey Merchant. This pack is kinda garbo. Lurrus is reasonable. Exquisite Blood is so niche. You need to get Veto and just Veto. So I think I'm just taking Lurrus. It's good with Devotion. Plays pretty well with the cheap black stuff. So, yeah, sure. Good dog. Well, Cat Nightmare. Good Lurrus. You have no idea how badly I want to wheel that Obliterator. Come on, give me a Christmas gift. Let me wheel the Obliterator. Okay, there's actually some really good tools here. Epic Downfall's pretty solid, but very replaceable. Crypt Breaker is rather unique. It's cheap. It's an army in a can. It plays well with discarding stuff to reanimate to Lurrus and other reanimate spells. I think both Noxious Gearhulk and Epic Downfall are pretty cool, but Crypt Breaker is slightly better and also more unique. So I'm going to take the Crypt Breaker. Bum, 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 Mr. Sandman. Why is that in my head? What? So, need Obliterator on the wheel. I need a Yara to come round at some point. And I just need like loads of removal. Maybe some sacrifice outlets and stuff. That'd be cool. I actually like this cube quite a lot, by the way, but I think the one change I would make if it was me building the cube, I can't help but notice that Witch's Oven is in this cube, but Cauldron Familiar is not. And that feels like a mistake. But you know what's not a mistake? Taking Massacre Worm. It's beginning to look a lot like Mono Black. Everywhere I go. This pack's not very good for Mono Black, I'll be honest. Inscription of Ruin's not terrible. Does reanimate Crypt Breaker, I guess. It's a flexible spell, if not a little bit expensive. Vengeful Rebel is garbage. And like Evolving Wilds and stuff. These are good for normal decks, but not for when we're trying to be a Grey Merchant of Asphodel deck for the sake of doing it, quote-unquote. So I think I'm just going to take the Inscription. This is getting a little awkward, but I'm hoping if we can cut black hard enough in Pack 1, we'll get rewarded in Pack 2 and Pack 3. Also, we're 3 picks away from finding out whether I get an Obliterator back. If you've got a Gary Hammer, everything looks like a mono black nail. Talk about life advice, just... the correct way to go. I will take Academ's Awakening. To be fair, Vraska would be a pretty good splash. Castle Lock Thwain is also very good. Oh, Castle might be better. This is very powerful, but... oh, man, I want both of these so badly. I think Castle's better. Ever so slightly better than Academ's. but I do want them both. Sadly, I can't get them both. Murderous Rider's a pretty good pickup. We'll have that one. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Phyrexian Obliterator. Show yourself behind door number... Yeah, I agree with you, Tychus, honestly. Door number 8. Give me that Obliterator on the wheel, please. That was pick 7, so technically if it's the last card in the pack, we'll get it back. But unlikely. I think the castle is just about better, because Mono Black struggles to, have card draw a lot of the time. Come on, I need to know if the Obliterator's here. Why is there such a hold-up? Oh, come on. I need to know. Come on, Hazed. Give me my pack. If someone did take it, we know we're in trouble, because it means we're not the only mono black player at the table. The sweat is real. It feels like so much longer, because I know it's the important pack. Oh, was this not our pack? No, this is not our pack. It's the next one. It's the next pack. Okay, there's still a chance. My heart sank, but there's still a chance. Okay, Slaughter Priest Amogus is actually not bad on the splash either, but I think I'm more likely to take Fable Passage to enable a cheap splash than anything else. So, Obliterator? I mistimed the packs. It's definitely this one though, because that was pick 8. Oh. Someone took my Phyrexian Obliterator, chat. Now I'm sad. I don't want any of these. Life's not fair. What are you doing taking Phyrexian Obliterators? Fine. Fine, I guess we'll be mono black without it. Oh, the Vivian's still here. No one took the Vivian. I guess I'll take Exquisite Blood in case I get Veto. Then I'll want it for the 2-card Splinter Twin scenario. Epic Downfall on the wheel's nice. Take that. Cheap removal. So I guess the big one we still need to try and get... We can't get Obliterator anymore, but we can get a Yara. So hopefully we can grab that at some point. Might be able to splash up a Devil. That's not impossible. Anyone happen to know if Clackbridge Troll is in this cube? Because that'd be really sweet. If we can do the Troll into Massacre Worm thing. Unlikely to play this Rebel, to be honest, but you never know. Dragon Skull Summit is a great land to help facilitate that splash. Wow, no respect for Dryad Greenseeker going last. What a crippling injustice. Speaking of crippling injustice, this pack is awful. Am I supposed to try and move into red-black sacrifice here? This pack has weaponized the monsters and Judith. Yeah, Ashiok is mono black. It doesn't play very well with the rest of what we're doing, though, to be fair. I'm gonna hedge on Judith, I think, and see where we end up. I don't actually think Ashiok's very good, so I'm gonna hedge on Judith and see where we end up. I think this is a pretty easy Heartless Act. It's just a very premium removal spell, so sure. Same likely to be said about Never Return. It's just like Hero's Downfall and or Murderous Rider, just clean, efficient removal. So I guess I'll be taking that. Gutter Bones? It's a decent enough one drop if we can get ourselves to be slightly aggressively slanted. This pack is actual garbage. Yikes, this is bad. Throne of the God Pharaoh is not good in our deck at all. Bomat Courier might be playable if we end up like red-black aggro. I don't think we're ever playing anything else. So I guess I'll take the Bomat Courier just in case. But, that pack was atrocious. Whoever took my Obliterator is cutting me off here as well, I think. Only problem with real person drafts on Arena is that some people are slow. Extremely slow. Yeah, it does sack itself, exactly. And, like, you honestly don't mind a card like Bomat Courier in normal red-black sack anyway, because it's pretty easy to empty your hand out and, like, get on the table. Some really good cards here, but none of them are really for us. If I bring the curve down, maybe Experimental Frenzy is good, but it's not good in our current deck. Castle Embreth is also not very good in our current deck. This is a bit of a mix and match of things, unfortunately. I think I'm going to hedge on Command the Dreadhorde. It's unlikely to be played, but it's definitely the highest power level card of the bunch. I don't think I'm really missing out on anything by taking it. Wow. I really want both of these. There's no way I'm passing Bolas' Citadel, right? Like, Nightmare Shepherd is great, and we unfortunately can't get it back, because this is the pack that we won't get anything back from. But we could still just be mono black, and this thing is pretty bananas. So, alright. Bolas' Citadel. What does Gravebreaker Lamia do for us? Nothing? Nothing. Alright. Brain Maggot or Dread Wanderer? Think I prefer the Maggot. Kinda close though. Pretty easy play crafter here. Probably doesn't make the cut, but it's the only card in the pack you're ever going to play, so we'll take it. I'll take 10. Yeah, 3 is very chunky, but there's a good chance we just don't play Judith or Bedevil if the deck, quote-unquote, comes together. I'll just take Temple of Deceit here. Nothing special to write home about. Man, this deck would be looking so much better with the Obliterator. I'm so sad. I think the thing I really want is Ayara. I would be very, very happy to see Ayara. Was it Queen of Locthwain? First Lady of Locthwain? It's the one that I really want. And then a handful of, like, cheaper odds and sods. Not going to be playing any of these at all, so... I think the thing is, Morgasm, like, both Obliterator and Grey Merchant are very good, but if I have to pick to play Mono Black Devotion that's missing one of those two cards, I'm going to miss Obliterator, not Grey Merchant. The unfortunate downside of that is somebody probably looked at the Obliterator and was like, oh, I'll take this and hope I get Grey Merchant. And obviously we kind of screwed each other over in the most literal sense of the word. Okay, I'm looking to try and still be mono black here. So let's see if we can get there. The card's really sweet though. Very unique ability on Phyrexian Obliterator. Yeah, Veto would be nice, so we have Veto Exquisite Blood, but that is a bit clunky. I think this is a pretty easy Gifted Aetherborn. Like, Hagra Mauling is nice, but we already have Heartless Act, Murderous Rider, Never Return. I think just the 2-drop that gains life, plays well with Grey Merchant and Bolas' Citadel is probably just too important to pass. So, gonna grab Gifted Aetherborn. I actually think this is the first mono-colored deck I've drafted in this cube so far. Legitimately think it might be. It's pretty cool. But yeah, Ayara would be nice, Veto would be nice, some of the Haymaker black cards would be nice too. Technically, if I like hit one of the big Rakdos cards, we can still play that, because we have a couple of lands that tie that together with Fable Passage and Dragonskull Summit. So, Rakdos Bombs also acceptable. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I guess I'd really like Woe Strider as well. Woe Strider would be very, very good with Bolas' Citadel and stuff, so we'd like that one as well. None of the ones that we want in this pack. I could take Blood Crypt. What does Mayhem Devil actually look like in this deck? Not very good. I think I'm just taking Feed the Swarm. Gives me a way to actually answer enchantments in my mono black deck. That's fair, Morgasm. Like, Obliterator's good in a lot of spots. But it's definitely the harder one to fit into a deck first pick, I think. I think you can make an argument for either, but I think I'm fairly happy with my argument for taking Grey Merchant first and hoping it came back. Would be nice for Croxer to come back, to be honest, but I'm actually really happy picking up Priest of the Forgotten Gods, so I will nick that. Priest allows for early shenanigans. Do I have actual 0 4-drops? Wow. Yeah. That big Obliterator-shaped hole is staring at me because I currently have no 4-drops. Not fair. Okay. This is looking alright. We're missing a few of the key pieces, but it's looking okay. Ayara, Woe Strider, they're the big ones that I want. We missed out on Nightmare Shepherd. I will take an Eliminate. Stitcher Supply is reasonable, but not as good as Eliminate. So, removal. Please get in my deck. Nice to see so many new faces joining me today as well, by the way. I know I've said it a few times already, but I really appreciate it. If you haven't already, do consider chucking us a follow. It would be nice to see you around more often in the future for some more Magic goodness. Occasionally some Jackbox goodness too. Can we ever cast Cruel Reality? The answer is just probably no. So I guess I'll take Orzhov Enforcer. Maybe there's enough sacrifice outlets for it. Unlikely though. Not a great pack for us. Not perfect. Bum 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 bum. Pretty happy to take the Black Bloom Rogue here. Plays very well as a creature and a land. Nice flexible card. Yeah, unfortunately it doesn't look like we're going to get any of the ones we really wanted. We'll have to make do. See if we can manage with just slightly underpowered mono black. Agonizing Remorse versus Zagoth Triome that I could cycle. I kind of don't hate having access to this to try and prevent flooding a little bit. The fact 10 to shoot Dryad and Hornet Queen are both still here is disgusting, by the way. Yeah, I think I'm happy picking up a Triome. I don't need the fixing, but just some flood prevention. Doesn't seem too bad. Wow, green was wide open. Some massive green haymakers making their way around late in pack 3. It's a real shame. Kind of wish we'd gone in on the Vivian Arcbow Ranger early on instead and just been mono green. Deck would have been pretty bananas, I think. But hindsight is 2020, at least for another 5 days. 6 days. 6 days. Oh, bloody hell, look at this. Look at the green. Wow. Just nothing for us in these packs, unfortunately, towards the end. Tis a shame. Does Mayhem Devil look any better now? Plaguecrafter, Priest of the Forgotten Gods. Well, I'm definitely not taking the red-black land over it, so maybe it makes the cut. Croxer might actually legitimately make the cut. I have a couple of lands that can make Croxer work theoretically. Kind of wish I took the Blood Crypt now. Whoops. Should have remembered that Croxer was coming back. If I'd remembered the Croxer, I would have taken the Blood Crypt. Wow, nobody was green at this table. Just some absolutely disgustingly late green cards. Legitimately considering playing some forests and just playing some of these cards over some of the stuff in our deck that's not very good. But some of it's just like double green. Last pick Hornet Queen. So depressing. Yeah, someone else drafted mono black. We got cut out of that pretty hard towards the end, and that's what happens sometimes when you go in early and try and do something for the sake of the joke, if you like. Okay, well, I think in which case we try and make the best of what we have. This is 13, 14, 15, 16, so it should be one more of each. And then I can figure out what spells I'm playing. Because I think I'm playing Croxer and a couple of the other red cards to fill out the gaps. Because there is unfortunately a few gaps. "12, 15, 16, hang on. 12, 15, 16, 17, 18. That's one too many. Alright. So that means I need three spells to fill this out. I guess, honestly, Akun Warrior is at least a land. If I can't cast it, that might be worth legitimately considering. Which, it sucks that that's a legitimate consideration, but it is. I think Bedevil's probably good enough to make the cut. And then it's probably just Bomat Courier, because it's a 1-drop I can sacrifice to Priest that I will occasionally be able to pop. So we'll try it like this. See if we can pick up some wins with Mono Black splashing red. Fingers crossed. Definitely got some of our goodies pinched away by someone else. As unfortunate as that might be. Yeah, this is actually completely fine. We can pretty happily keep this. Pretty happily keep this one. Alright, let's start things off with Ye Olde Gutterbones. Ah, I see opponent is also a person of culture. Do they want to trade for my Gutterbones? They do not. Interesting. So red-white, something that looks to be aggressive, based on Selfless Savior, but no guarantee, of course. Yep, Underworld Ragehound pretty much sums that one up. Not great, I'll be honest. Do I just start making some zombos? I think I'm probably just making zombos. And in that case, I should cast Bomat Courier, because my hand is likely to be fairly empty shortly anyway. See what our opponent has on turn 3. Tajik. That is not good. What do I do about Tajik? Oh, are you attacking with it? Alright, I guess I care less about that Tajik than I thought. More like tragic, yeah, exactly. That's how you do it. Is that idea? That is more of an accurate statement. So, do you want to give this indestructible? I'm assuming you do. Wow, we got people chilling. Nice to see so many faces popping in today. Honestly, I appreciate it. Hopefully, you're having a lovely Christmas. And let's just pop the Tajik like a zit while we can. Please leave the battlefield. Hopefully you're all doing great today. Ba-bum-ba-dum. Gathering spot for Christmas loners. I mean, that's why I'm here, is that idea, honestly. Like, I'm by myself this year because I can't travel and see family. That's just kind of the way that it is. So I'm cooking food for me, and I was going to be playing some Magic anyway, so I might as well at least come and entertain some people that might also not be having the best of Christmases. And if I can do that, that's pretty great. Seems like a pretty good use of my Christmas to me. Honestly, nothing special, Tychus. I've got a small turkey joint in for myself. Some vegetables, general array of Christmas vegetables. Stuffing was done this morning. I got some pigs in blankets which I've not put in yet because they only take like 35 minutes. Just like general Christmas shenanigans, just to try and make myself feel a little more festive. Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be great. I'm not going to have the best dinner known to man because I cannot cook. I don't cook very well. But it should at least be delicious enough. So, looking forward to it. Really awkward draw we've had here, honestly. Opponent was quite aggressive and so were we. And we've both kind of sat here and meandered around each other. But honestly, I was expecting to be dead all day. Like, I really didn't think it was going to be very busy at all. Just going to be talking to an empty room. And that was kind of what I expected. And the fact I've currently got 16 people in here is mental to me. You're considering getting Chinese? Chinese is my plan for tomorrow. I am going to get a Boxing Day Chinese, I think. This is going to hurt. This is going to hurt a lot. It might even be dead levels of hurt. 6, 10, I'm on 4. Ouch. Ouch. Toothmaker, that's very sweet. Thank you. I appreciate that. I am very happy to be here. I do my best to be here 5 days a week, so the fact I'm doing something that even remotely matters is fine by me. This Bomat Courier is going to have to find me some relevant spells, because I have no life to play with. Honestly, thank you for being here. Let's kill some things. I don't know how I beat this this Earthshaker camera, unfortunately. Pretty sure it kills me. You're usually on audio only, so you appreciate how I talk through my thought process. I do my best. I've been told I'm quite an educational stream, and I know that sounds a bit egotistical to say, but people seem to be able to pick up a thing or two. So that's really cool, and I will continue to try and do that. I'm going to sheepishly go to 2 to kill this, and hold up this Eliminate for the inevitable Earthshaker Kenra. This is quite the race, but I think I'm losing that race. Well, looks like camera's coming back. The sad part is if they kill my Bomat Courier, I have to let it go. Because if I don't let it go, I can't kill the camera, and the camera kills me. Given that we've got so many new faces in here, by the way, I'll do a little bit of a quick plug as well. I know it's just gone in the chat anyway, but I do upload highlights to YouTube as well. So if you want to be able to catch me and the stuff that I do at your convenience on any day of the week that suits you, or time that suits you if you're not in my time zone, consider subscribing over there so you can catch up with that kind of stuff as well. Ba-dum-ba-dum-bum. Alright. Bomat Courier. Does this thing have haste? It does not. Okay. Courier needs to have some real cards under it. Because I'm out of stuff. I think gaining 2 is good enough. So I'm going to do that. Oh god, this was quite the race. I get to kill the knight, thankfully. I'm so glad I made a blocker. But that means it's not lethal. No, it is lethal. It is lethal. It is. You die. Then you also die. Whew. That one was a sweat. We were in solid 50p territory for a while there. That was an interesting one. I enjoyed playing that. Bomat Courier literally carried a bunch of WMDs. That's roughly how that game went, yeah. Cracked a Bomat Courier and there was 5 spells under it. It's a pretty good little Christmas present, that one. Okay, hand is good. Early crit breaker to be able to pressure opponent, pile of removal, and also this massacre worm that we'll worry about getting to at some point later. Seems like a keep to me. Dauntless Bodyguard. Okay. Dragon Skull Summit, not going to help us just yet, but does mean we are one step closer to that Massacre Worm, which I can only imagine is very good in a matchup like this. Do I take this trade? Probably not. I'm the one who has removal spells, and this Crypt Breaker can just churn out zombies at some point in the near future, so I don't think I do. Thalia. Okay, that one probably needs to die, but it won't be this turn because, unfortunately, Thalia. So let's cast Gifted Aetherborn. That was a pretty good draw step. Should lock up the ground a little bit. Then we can worry about picking off Thalia shortly. Ooh. My back does not want to function today. Spine is like, it's Christmas, go back to bed. Okay, this is probably almost certainly getting played as a land, so I am going to play this untapped, and then my question is, which one of these do I kill first? Because I should kill the Thalia basically to make the other spells in my hand cheaper, but if I leave them with Channeler, they get an activation at least once, which is certainly worth considering. I think the Thalia is still correct to kill, so I'm going to aim there. But it is definitely a question to be asked. And I think I'm pretty happy attacking with this Gifted Aetherborn as well. If my opponent wants to double block, that seems like a very fair trade to me. Didn't think so somehow. Wow, attacking with both. Interesting. I am getting kind of close to this Massacre Worm, but I am still tempted to take this trade. Think I'm happier doing this. I didn't take it earlier because I was worried that I wasn't going to have threats to play, but since then we've drawn a 2-drop and a 3-drop to kind of bridge the curve, so I'm a little happier trading off with the 1-drop now. even though it meant I took a bit of damage early on. Opponents light up the stage here, finding them 2 white spells, which is actually quite good for us because they seem to be stuck on 1 white mana. So it's going to be kind of hard for them to get value out of both of those without spending 2 turns on it. Goes with the Remorseful Cleric, sure. Alright, so this is going to get played as a land because I want to keep working towards Massacre Worm. Don't think we need to hold up Heartless Act this turn. But the Selfless Savior does definitely make this a little bit worse. Going to need the Worm to deal with that. Just attack for 2. Ba-dum, ba, ba-dum. Does cast the Saviour. Does also find the second white source, which is very relevant. Into Rage Hound. Okay. This Worm, if we can get there, is going to be phenomenal. So, would like to draw a 6th land, honestly. That is a Gutterbones, also known as not 6th land. Think I'm just going to hold the fort here. Yeah. This has to attack, so we're just going to, trade off with the Orzhov Enforcer, but it's going to keep poking us in the air with Remorseful Cleric. Probably start drawing some cards with this Magmatic Channeler too, so we really need to try and do a good job at getting land 6, because that's going to make this Heartless Act a relevant card again. Opponent finds a Bone Crusher Giant. That's certainly not a bad one. Okie dokie. So, I'm still making this block. No problem there. And again, I think it might be a little greedy, but I'm going to hold on to this Heartless Act until, hopefully, after I draw land 6 and slam this Massacre Worm. I guess I can challenge the Remorseful Cleric this way too. Opponent just casts Bone Crusher as a dude, which is a little confusing. But sure. Into Bomat Courier. Alright, deck. Land 6. I would like land 6. Thank you very much. Have you met my friend Massacre Worm? Opponent agrees that is rather good and concedes that match. I'll tell you what, folks, I've just realised as well, I actually have some codes left to give away. So if you're an MTG Arena player and you would like access to the Alternative Art of Collected Company, the Extra Life one, I have a handful of codes left to redeem those, so I'm gonna stick them in the chat, I think, over the course of the rest of today's stream. If you're not sure about the artwork that I'm on about, I'll show you it real quick, just to pull it up, and I'm just loading the codes up now. So, what deck has Collected Company in it? Oh, Bank Coco, obviously. And I'll share some in the chat. This art just here for this Collected Company. And I'll pop some that you can redeem in the chat in a little bit. The codes are just loading up on my computer now. Gonna hop into the next round and try and play some more black stuff. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 to 11 codes left. So I'm going to drop one of them in the chat right now. The first person to redeem it, it is yours to keep. You'll have that exclusive artwork. And then I'll try and pop a few more off during today's stream. So let's get one available out there. Enjoy whoever manages to claim that and have that lovely piece of artwork for yourself. The sound is not very good, but between Castle Loch Thwain and a 2-drop, I think it is a keep. Hopefully the worm is good in this matchup. For when we inevitably get to it. But if you didn't manage to redeem that one first, don't panic. I've got a couple more. So there'll be a couple more chances to grab it at some point today. Alternatively, if you are a subscriber to the channel and you haven't had one already, do let me know, because I'll just give you one. Opponent's Agonizing Remorse was actually quite good there. I think, however, Plaguecrafter is reasonable. I might hold on to it. Try and get a little more value out of it. You're welcome, is that a dear? Enjoy. Merry, Merry Christmas. Opponent has a Croxer very much like us, so let's chuck away a Swamp and take a little bit of damage. Ooh, Biomat Courier. Okay, this is looking alright. Gonna hold on to the Plaguecrafter again until my opponent plays a creature, because I really don't want him to discard cards to this Croxer right now. Does bolt themselves for Farika's Spawn. So this doesn't do anything right now, but it does also escape. I think given the Croxer is already in the graveyard, I'm kind of okay with that. And yeah, I think it's a bit aggressive to Grey Merchant there, so that's fine. Hopefully we'll be able to set up a decent one moving forward before we pop Biomat Courier. Alright, this is looking okay. We are doing the thing. Opponent would like to scry. Only downside of Biomat Courier is that you repeatedly get priority over and over again, so there is plenty of clicking to do. Bum ba dum bum bum ba dum. Never on my Plaguecrafter. Sure. Kind of surprised they went for the Plaguecrafter there, to be honest. I kind of expected the Biomat Courier, but not going to complain. On 4 cards in the graveyard right now, so nothing coming back just yet. Young Pise is a pretty good one, though. They also had an Epic Downfall. Mine doesn't look like it's going to do very much, unfortunately. That is the worst draw, because I don't want to pop this and discard Bolus's Citadel. Oh, that sucks. It's not worth it. This is such a... Magic! So my options here are I can attack for 1... Opponent is probably not bringing back Croxer next turn. I attack with both. My opponent blocks with the Elemental. I crack and draw 4 and have 4 mana to play with. I think Citadel's too valuable, honestly. I think I'm going to hold on to it and try and draw land number 6. This might be really greedy, but I just think this card is a bomb. And we have 19 life to play with. But that might just be wrong. I might end up regretting that. Opponent with the Chandra, Acolyte of Flame. This one is pretty hot. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Get it because it's Chandra. Just never mind. The number of viewers went down by 3 when that joke hit, which is somewhat appropriate. Castle for the draw? Yeah, probably happens, honestly. It does take away 3 life, but probably worth it. Depends on if they flash back this Agonizing Remorse. Because if they flash back Remorse, I will be sad. But I can definitely see using the castle for the draw if they don't. Alright, so they do choose to just make elementals. I'll go to 17 and then to 14 to try and land this citadel. That is a Croxer. Alright, found it. Unfortunately, there is a land on top of my deck, so sugar. Guess I'm blocking now. Was hoping to find at least one spell there, I'll be honest. But never mind. This is quite close. Opponent really should be attacking with their Pyromancer, because if I trade for it, they get to bring back Croxer. But they did not do that last turn. I guess they could just bring back Spawn now? You are surprisingly correct, is that idea. Happens far too often. Yeah, just pulls back Farika's Spawn instead. Okay. I will sacrifice a non-Gorgon creature. Okay, this is starting to add up. So I'm going to kill this Pyromancer. We're going to take 3 and go to 11. And hopefully that is enough life to have some kind of turn. Lurus is a good one to find there. Ouch. Play a land. Gifted Aetherborn. Also worth the life, I think. Alright, so exile this. Recast this. Cast Croxer. I have life gain in play. Don't kill me. That is all I ask. Just don't do the thing where I die. Strike minus strike. I might scream. I legitimately might have screamed. Bloodchief's Thirst is equally bad, honestly. Oh god. This is gonna be close. That's a really good draw step. Feed the Swarm on top doesn't really help me. Let's pull back this Croxer. Put my opponent to 1. Wait, no. Feed the Swarm kills them. What am I on about? They take 3 damage from the Croxer, go to 1. I kill this and attack them. I can't click to attack for lethal and sneeze at the same time, body. Sorry, guys. I would have tried to mute there, but I was trying to do too many things at the same time. That was a heck of a game. That was a sweat and a half. I'm going to run this back. Bear with me 2 seconds. Just going to grab a tissue, and I'll be right back. Alright. That was a heck of a game. Honestly, that one was really sweet. See if we can do that again. Ba-bum, ba-bum, bum, bum. Game 2. Fight. Oh. This hand is also very keepable. Epic Downfall a little loose. We saw it didn't have too many targets against them, but I think it's fine. I think that swing turn where it was difficult to decide whether we were supposed to pop the courier or whether we were supposed to hold on to Citadel was a really important turn, actually, and would be really cool to look back at. Opponent keeps taking my Massacre Worm. They've Agonizing Remorsed it twice now. It's not particularly friendly of them. Okay, they seem to be having some mana troubles. I'm just going to lure us the hard way, I think. Good chance this dies, but I think pressuring them while missing lands is just going to be important. They have an Epic Downfall, and Plaguecrafter cannot pressure them because it would sacrifice itself. So we're just forced to pass here, unfortunately. Opponent finds their land, has Filigree Familiar. That's actually really good here just to sack to the Plaguecrafter. So, opponent does get to draw a card when this dies, but we have to get through it somehow anyway. So, why not now? Judith. Okay. I would like Judith to be gone. Am I mind rotting my opponent? I imagine mind rot here is very good. So, 4, 5, 6, 4... I can wait and try and kick this, but kicking it honestly doesn't achieve very much. I'm just going to mind rot him. I think when people are mana screwed, getting double discarded, the old Hymn to Torak does tend to suck. So, happy to fire that off, I think. But I'd like Castle Lock Thwain or a little more gas of my own, because I'm kind of out of stuff. Opponent discards Claim and a Yara. It sucks to draw the Mountain when you have a Yara in your hand. That's rough. Okie dokie. Croxer is a good one. Think I'm likely going to Grey Merchant first, because Croxer is good at any point, and I'm going to fetch the second red up. Murderous Rider's my Plaguecrafter, sure. That could have happened anyway. I probably should have attacked first, though, because there's a good chance if I attack, they don't necessarily fire off that Murderous Rider. Probably should have got in for 3 before doing this. So I imagine opponent is just casting the Murderous Rider here. Actually, interesting question while I've just thought about it for you, chat. Does anyone you know actually call these adventure creatures by their creature name and their spell name when they're casting the appropriate half, or does everyone just use the creature name for all of them? Because I just call Murderous Rider, regardless of if you're casting Swift End or not. Wonder if that's just me. Same? Yeah, I just didn't know whether people actually used the correct spell names for them or whether they just didn't bother. I'm going to turn on Croxer next turn here. You call them by the spell you're currently casting. Yeah, that's what you probably should do. But I'm also a pedantic prick. You said it, not me. Merry Christmas, Wilhelm. Yeah, I think I've caught myself saying Swift End a few times. But not as often as I maybe should, for example. Oh, I do for Stomp. That's true. I do say Stomp and not Bonecrusher Giant for Stomp. That is a valid point. Hadn't really thought of that. Oh, Crocs are getting contempted there. Sucks. Donkey do. Okay. Crypt Breaker, you got some work to do. Oh, I thought we were in such good shape, and the last card in my opponent's hand was a Vraska's Contempt. I'm so mad. Alright, discard this. I don't want to pick it up. I just want to chuck it away and make it into a zombie. At least Crypt Breaker is a constant army in a can here. Like, is it Lovestruck Beast's spell is like Heart's Desire, right? I think it's Heart's Desire, and no one calls it Heart's Desire. Well, that's not a bad top deck. Nice Commander Dreadhorde. This is better than a zombie, so I'll cast it. But this Ayara is going to catch my opponent right back up. Is this 3 zombies? Do I have 3 zombies? Oh, this is a zombie? Oh, sweet. I'll draw a card. Grey Merchant of Asphodel has additional vanilla text. Opponent, please, you're ruining Christmas. Correct. How dare you draw well? Gary is in fact a zombie. Correct. Flavor text. Stop. Draw. Can you draw a land for like 1 turn? This is so good. Okay, Feed the Swarm is also good, but what am I supposed to kill? Okay, so if I kill anything except for Nightmare Shepherd, my opponent just brings it back in response. So I have to kill the Nightmare Shepherd. Merry Christmas, would you just die? Yeah, this is really quite good for my opponent here. They still get to bring back the Filigree Familiar. Gain 2 more life. Ugh. Sack the Zombo. Oh, so I balls that up. What I should have done is activate Crypt Breaker in response. Tap Zombie Crypt Breaker to draw a card. And then sack the zombie. No, sorry, not Zombie Crypt Breaker. Zombie Grey Merchant. But I didn't do that. This priest is going to become a real problem. Yeah, Vraska's Contempt into Command the Dreadhorde was a beating. Opponent would like to draw another card. Sure. Yeah, I got there on my own. I realised I missed it just after doing it. I was distracted by the sweet, sweet smell of turkey from my oven. Sorry. I guess it's not my oven now, it's my kitchen, but yeah, you know what I meant. Followed by the sweet, sweet smell of fire. No, thankfully everything's okay. I've been keeping an eye on it when I've been taking bathroom breaks and stuff, so just keeping it basted, keeping it tidy. We'll eat in a bit. Opponent, can you stop? It's one way of looking at it, barman, yeah. Wars of Enforcer is not exactly helpful. I feel like we've been robbed here. Opponent top decked extremely well, and we have not. It's not over yet, but that Command the Dreadhorde hurt. What am I drawing to? I guess is the question. Bolus's Citadel again? Is it just slam the Citadel, kill my opponent, hopefully? Alright, that's not bad. That's possibly the best land we could have drawn. I didn't mean to draw another one. Young peasy. Yeah, this one is quickly slipping away. Oh, Massacre Worm would do it too, yeah. But that got exiled earlier on, right? Yeah, they Agonizing Remorsed it earlier. So, no Massacre Worm right now. Got ripped out of our hand earlier on. And honestly, this is probably like the last turn we can really Bolus' Citadel and have enough life to possibly win. Just putting too much pressure on us with all this stuff. That is not a Bolus' Citadel. That is in fact a 4/5 with trample. I guess I attack for 1. Death Toucher can make its way through, that's fine. Don't mind that. Trying to think if there's other ways for us to catch up here that don't suck. But, I can't think of any other than the Citadel, and it's getting a bit hard for that to be good enough now. Come on. Blood Chief's there. Oh, God. Well, Swamp ain't gonna do it. Yeah. Opponent drew very, very well this game, and sadly, I think it was just about good enough. Their deck's really sweet, so it looks like we're going to game 3. Hugger Mauling, okay. Yeah, you keep drawing spells, Chief. I am going to pack this in now, I believe. I don't think there's anything left in our deck that can win us the game from this spot, so let's go to game 3. And try that again. That was a real sad one. Feel like we got robbed. Yeah, opponents obviously Rakdos, right? They have a myriad of removal. You kind of expect that. That's to be expected. But time to see Massacre Worm get remorsed for a 3rd time. Yeah, that sounds about right. It does sound about right. Alright, come on. I want game 3. This is probably a keep, knowing what we know about our opponent's deck. Honestly. I think deading their removal early on is fine. Having access to our big payoff is only punishable if they have exactly Agonizing Remorse. They don't seem to have any other discard. Same thing. So I think it's fine. I think it's largely okay. We'll run out Crypt Breaker here. I expect it to die basically always. Acquisitions expert. What do I discard here? I think it's probably Plaguecrafter. It is kind of close though. Don't think I have to kill that. just going to cast Orzhov Enforcer. Sega. Keep working my way towards the big daddy here. Oh. Apparently my opponent has a Thoughtseize that we didn't know about. They decided to take Never Return, so we can still try and make our way towards this Citadel. They are missing their lands. I am going to take... What am I going to take? Filigree Familiar, probably? Seems like the best thing to do there. No need to attack here. Let's just be sensible. I would like to draw lands. Just lands. Repeatedly, in fact. Opponent would also like to draw lands. Okay, that is in fact a land. Bear with me a second, just got a weird pop-up from some software. Let's get rid of that. So tap land, let's make a zombie because we might as well. And hopefully we can draw a land for our turn and slam this thing. Hopefully. I want to slam my Citadel. Yep, you can cast a Family Knight, that's fine. Ho ho ho. Merry Christmas. Yes. Okay, I can't cast Epic Downfall yet, that's fine. Zombie, go. Find it hard to believe we lose from here. I guess we can get bedeviled. Of course we can get bedeviled. Why do you draw your land now, you piece of garbage? Fine. Fine. Let's turn this into a zombie. Let's activate Priest of the Forgotten Gods. That was fun for exactly 1 second. Exactly. Draw a swamp for our troubles. I'll activate Castle Lochthwain. Draw a mountain from my troubles. Okay, I've drawn enough lands now, deck. Back to the spells, please. Of course, opponent then draws the second red source. This is depressing. Ugh. Anytime I keep that hand, I never draw my third mana source and I die. Alright. Not over yet, but obviously looking pretty damn awful now. Castle Lochthwain, you got some heavy lifting to do. That's not what I meant, Castle Lochthwain. That is, in fact, another swamp. Yeah, you need to go. You... Oh, this is a sorcery. Well, I learned something today. Bye. Crocs are also a pretty fantastic draw, by the way, assuming my opponent's hand does not contain the card Vraska's Contempt. They do discard Command the Dreadhorde. We'll pull this back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ba-dum, 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 ba-dum. Please discard some cards. Discards. Claim the Firstborn. Why? Seems like it'd be good to steal Croxer briefly. Getting use out of your black enchantment only removal. Yes, obviously. It actually does destroy creatures though, right? Feed the Swarm is creature or enchantment. It does so happen that Nightmare Shepherd is both. But, you know. Opponent does Hagra Mauling my Croxer. Very much expected that. That's fine. Castle Lock Thwain, show me what you got. That's a pretty good one. That is a pretty good one. Let's just start Croxer my opponent repeatedly until they die. Yeah, I've used it on Nightmare Shepherd both games, exactly. So it does definitely help that it is both. But for all intents and purposes, it is 2 mana destroy target Nightmare Shepherd. Did the job. Goodbye, Lurrus. You also did your job. Opponent's own Croxer. Didn't want to see that. However, I think that just... No, that doesn't kill you. Does that kill you? That does kill you. Grey Merchant of Asphodel. What a match that was. Holy God. That was a massive sweat. You know what that deserves? That deserves more Coco codes. So if you guys weren't here for me earlier on, I've got some more Collected Companies to give away if you want the Extra Life art version of Collected Company. I'm going to pop 2 codes in the chat for the first people to claim them now. I've got a couple more to give away a little bit later. First one is for you there. Whoever claims that first gets that lovely piece of artwork all for themselves. And then let's drop a second one for good measure. Let's have that Delito. I've got like 5 left after this. There we go. Some more Collected Companies given out for Christmas. Can we get the full 3-0 with this deck and take all of the marbles? It is time to find out. HMD 007. What have you got for me? Yeah, this is completely fine. Bit slow, but perfectly reasonable. Dragon Skull Summit. Getting thought erased. Why is everyone playing discard spells today? You're making my life so much harder. Takes my Heartless Act. Okay, sure. Just to mess with me? Obviously. Am I mind-rotting my opponent? Yeah, I think I probably am. 4 cards at the moment, and we don't have an awful lot going on. Seems best to try and deprive them of resources. We'll take Spark Double and Brazen Borer out of their hands. Nice. Woe Strider. Does miss their land drop. That's fine by me, so let's go Montana. Kill this Woe Strider. Gonna work our way towards standard staple Akoum Warrior. And try and beat our opponent to death with that. They do miss their land drop again. A little unfortunate for them. I'm gonna cast the Rogue. Play a Fable Passage. And stay go. Goodbye, Black Bloom Rogue. Opponent seems extremely removal heavy. Alright, Priest of the Forgotten Gods. Admittedly, they aren't drawing lands, so that probably does add to that. Atris, that's pretty good. Let me go fetch a Black Source in a second and kill this Atris. I guess I should... actually, I might wait on this because... oh, this can come back anyway. No, okay, that's dead. This is dying. I want to exile the Woe Strider if that's the case. So, get rid of Atris. Thief of Sanity is rather scary. I would rather you not take it. They do take Censer and a Swamp. That's fine by me. Gutter Bones. Poke you for 1. Opponent's deck's pretty interesting. Looks just like Dimir good cards, which is certainly what you can have in cube sometimes. No doubt about that. Pulling back the Woe Strider. Yep. I'm fine with this. We can beat a Woe Strider. Let's exile this while we can. Opponent will sack the goat. Yeah, I mean, Scarab God would make a lot of sense. If they have it, they have it. There's not a ton we can do about it. I'm definitely not going to not Epic Downfall Woe Strider to play around a Scarab God that I haven't seen. So, I think that's probably the way to go. Noxious Gearhulk. Oh, God. That's bad. That's a whole lot of bad. Yeah. I need to find something relevant here. We're in need of removal for a 5/4 with Menace. Opponent's deck looks really sweet, actually. They have a lot of the good Dimir cards. Thassa? Oh, no. Oh, no. I can never beat this. Removal spell for Noxious Gearhulk, please. That's pretty good. I am in pain. And also in danger. Oof. That is quite the combo. Gutter Bones down. I guess Bowlers of Citadel is my best one. 1 in 22 chance. That is a crit breaker. That achieves basically nothing. Yeah, I was a little shocked. I was definitely a little shocked. This one caught me off guard. Noxious Gearhulk is giving us a bit of a kick in here. Okay, so I play around the Gearhulk and get experted. Feels bad. Feels bad. Okay, that's fine. Opponent's deck looks really sweet. Looks like they drafted a real spicy one. That's going to be enough for me to pack that in. Let's go to game 2. Yikes. Opponent has some goodies. Real goodies. I would like to 3-0 with this deck. I don't actually think it's that good, so picking up the 3-0 would be very nice. Let's see if we can do that. Piece the pieces together. Bum ba dum ba bum ba dum. Yeah, this is just removal and a payoff. So I'll keep it in the dark. Opponent does have a lot of discard, but I'm not going to mulligan this hand just because of that. Bum ba dum ba dum bum ba dum. Nice. Happy to cast Orzhov Enforcer here. It's perfectly fine. Plenty of removal in this hand. Kind of hoping my opponent has some things for me to burn it on. Let their draw be like Thief of Sanity and stuff like that, you know. Look, it's much worse to use this kind of stuff on like Atris, because that is a negative trade in terms of card advantage. I mean, I'll do it, but It's not what you want to do. Alright, happy to pass the turn here. Cycle Sensor. That is value when you're looking at Bolas's Citadel in your hand. Definitely some upside. Illyrios. Sure. I guess I should kill the token, because technically this is smaller. Ooh, Croxer. We can do that. We can do some Croxer. Oh, actually, that was probably just wrong, right? I should kill this, because I know they have Thassa in their deck. And given I know about Thassa, I should kill the original. That was a mistake on my part. Thankfully not punished for it, but Solemn Simulacrum not the best for us either. That's a really nice clean way of handling a Solemn. Alright, really looking for some lands here to try and tie the room together. A couple of mana sources would be real nice. Tezzeret. Okay, well we can answer that, but it means we have to spend our next turn answering that. Brain Maggot. These aren't bad spells or anything, but I can't double spell or put any pressure on my opponent because I don't have enough mana to do that, so we're a little bit stuck here. Really would like land 5 and 6. Pretty sharpish. Opponent misses their land drop. That's land 5 for us, so I am going to cast this Brain Maggot and see what's up over there. What you doing? Oh! Well, this needs to go, but we now know about the Sublime Epiphany, which is kind of the problem, because it's going to answer this Citadel basically any which way we cut the butter at the moment. Guess I kind of need my opponent to tap out, but even then they can bounce it, right? Yeah, this is going to be rough. Going to be rough to get this one down on the table and get him dead, I think. Opponent's deck is uber sweet. They picked up a lot of very nice cards. Well, I can't play into Sublime Epiphany, unfortunately, so I'm not gonna. Let's just gain some life and pass the turn. Does flash in... Well, no, it doesn't flash in the Brazen Borrower, sorry. Bounces Orzhov Enforcer and then probably flashes in the Brazen Borrower, which is fine. I didn't realise this was a sorcery. Oh, I probably would have used this over Murderous Rider had I realised that this was a sorcery. Lessons learned. Let's kill, I guess, you. And hold Bedevil for the Borrower. If opponent burns Epiphany on this, that's definitely a win. But I'm not sure the match is a win. Yeah. So they are countering, copying, bouncing. Okay, so I should kill the Illyrios again in response to make sure that we don't get any copies of that. Pick up their Brazen Borrower again. Okay, so that gives us a chance. I need my opponent to tap low so I feel like I can safely sneak this Citadel in. That is how they tap low. Alright, let's go. We've got a chance. Bink. Land. Ouch. I'll cast a Massacre Worm. I'll cast a Plague Crafter. Sack the Plague Crafter. That was a painful Massacre Worm. Bounces my Citadel. Yep. Liliana. You just killing off the Massacre Worm? I could definitely see that. Yep. This is awkward. What do I do now? I don't have that much life to play with when it comes to the Citadel, so I think I'm just meant to Croxer. Pull this one back. Make my opponent discard a little something something. Discards a Woe Strider? Oh, that sucks. Let's exile the Woe Strider. Make a Zombo. Okay. Definitely still in this. Definitely still in this. Very jealous of my opponent's deck, though. Opponent's deck is gasoline. Does have the answer to the Croxer. Well, okay. I will discard a swamp. Think I might just have to jam the Citadel here and hope. Play a mountain. Nope. We're in danger. Oh. Thief for sanity. I need to find an answer to this Urian. That is not it. So let's play this. Crack it. Get a reshuffle. That is rough. That is super rough. The opponent's deck's really, really sweet, though. I don't mind losing to a deck like that when you're the old 2-0 playing for the 3-0. That's fine. It's gonna happen that way sometimes. I really don't mind too much.